Since today's theme is creating conversation, I wanted to share with you my most favorite way to enrich and deepen conversation in the community. Create a playlist. Or make a mixtape for those of you who are more old school. But create a playlist. But not just any playlist. I want to challenge you to take it a step further. See, I teach a character design class here at Loyola Marymount, character design for animation. And every year, I tell my students, imagine that Hollywood has created a movie of your life, and that movie needs a soundtrack. Now I want you to go through your whole music files, and I want you to find 20 songs that describe your life, your whole entire life. And then I want you to put them into a playlist. And then I want you to do this. This is the most important part. I want you to write 2 to 3 sentences as to why each song is important. I do this with my class because I want to make sure that they can look into their past and find out what makes them unique, so they can in turn create characters that are unique. For my talk today, I want to give you the opportunity to put your life in perspective. You see, the songs that we listen to and the playlists that we make, they say a lot about ourselves. And music has this unique quality that it's able to capture experiences and emotions that go way beyond music and lyrics. So I'm not a magic 8-ball, so I can't tell you your destiny. But what I can offer you is the opportunity to explore the foundation of your truth, so that you can see if you are where you're supposed to be. While I do that, I want to share with you a few songs from my playlist. I call it My Life in a Playlist. When it's time to change, you've got to rearrange who you are into what you're gonna be. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I don't know if you all watch Brady Bunch. I'm sure some of you like Brady Bunch. That's one of the songs in my playlist. I'm sure you remember season 5, episode 1. That is the episode where Greg Brady, he gets discovered by a talent agent, and then he quits the Brady singing group, and he changes his name to Johnny Bravo. Remember that one episode? The funny thing about that episode. For the 99.9% of you who have never Googled my name, Wikipedia gets it right by saying that my full name is Ephraim Giovanni Bravo Partible. Ephraim, it's like in Princess Bride, my name is Ephraim Giovanni Bravo Partible. So Giovanni is Italian for John. My mom loved Italian names. And Bravo is my mom's maiden name. So my real middle name is kind of John Bravo. That's my first snapshot, my first snippet from my playlist. Anyways, if I were to walk you through my life, I have what's called a Hollywood story. So I was born in the Philippines, in this little barrio outside of Manila called Bacnocan. My parents immigrated here along with my 2 brothers. And we ended up living in Salinas, California, the lettuce capital of the world. So there I grew up as a latchkey kid, so I watched a lot of TV, read a lot of comic books, basically became an entertainment junkie, which served me well when I got to LMU. They accepted me with all those credentials. But here I was a studio arts major with an animation emphasis. We had no animation major here at that time, so it was an animation emphasis. And for my senior thesis, I had to create a film. And what I did is I took that film and I was able to sell it to Hanna-Barbera and the Cartoon Network. That film became Johnny Bravo. So it was I basically sold my senior thesis and made a TV show. It was shown all over the world. It spawned spin-offs and video games, and it was just this amazing ride. I've been told that my story has been shared with similar students who want to come to LMU and create their own Hollywood story. But the thing is, it's a Hollywood story. Hollywood's really good at selling itself. So let me ask you this. When I tell you this type of story, when you hear these Hollywood stories, do you find them inspirational or depressing? Do they make you think, oh, I could do that? Or do they make you curl up into a ball and just like really question your manliness, your womanliness? Where it began, I can't begin to knowing. Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. This song reminds me of my time after college. When I graduated LMU, I was kind of lost. I was pretty lost. What I told you a second ago was my Hollywood story. And like most Hollywood stories, it has deleted scenes. Because we all have different narratives. It's like, I'm telling the story, no, Hollywood, yay, good, happiness. For example, in my deleted scenes, when I graduated here, I was sleeping on my friend's couch for the first few months. The one job that I was hoping for never panned out. Even when I got Johnny Bravo, I was fired after the first season due to my lack of experience. So the next 3 seasons were done without me. They brought me back on 4 years later, but only after a year of unemployment, going from job interview to job interview, thinking, am I really supposed to be doing this? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? But that's why I'm here. I'm here today to tell you that everything is awesome! When you're living out a dream. See, Chris Miller and Phil Lord, they're the guys who created the Lego movie, where this song came from. Phil often talks about failure. He has this quote that says, I don't want to fail by being conservative. I want to fail by doing something that no one else has done. So I kind of took that advice after I finished Johnny Bravo. I thought, I want to do a show about an alpha female, because I did an alpha male. I'm doing something for my daughter. I just had a daughter at that point in time. What I learned when I was doing this development pitch, this show for a girl, was that studios didn't want shows for girls. They basically, and there was Kim Possible and Powerpuff Girls, but those were the kind of things that they could explain away. But research had shown that boys watch boys shows, girls watch boys shows, but boys didn't watch girls shows. So it was a hard sell. That was a story that I was told. On the flip side, before I started making you all sad and stuff, the neat thing is the story's changed because right now, currently, the student population across the US in terms of animation students has gone up for women. So it's like 66% women in the animation programs. So there's this change going on right now, which is super cool. Right now I'm working on a show with a girl at one of the networks, and we're developing a girl show. I tried to do it before. That was 2003. Things have changed. Super, super, super cool. So the thing about my story is that we all have stories. But many of us have stories and excuses. It's like, I'm sure you all use the excuse of, I'm sorry I didn't get here on time, but there was traffic. Or, the server went down, so I couldn't get that paper done. The problem with stories and excuses is that a lot of us live in our stories and excuses. Like with jobs, it's like, I can't get that job. It's like, they're only hiring internally. Or, I can't get that job. It's like, I don't have the right skill set. Or, how am I supposed to get a job? I graduated with an English major. Now, have you ever wished that you could rewrite your story? Before you do that, I want to suggest that you actually reread your story. Let me unpack that. Have you ever read a book or watched a movie and thought, you're right, like that would ever happen? If the storyteller had been doing their job correctly, they would have laid the foundation for the unbelievable to be believable. You all know what Easter eggs are, right? Easter eggs, not the ones from the Easter Bunny, but Easter eggs like those little hidden items put in like TVs and movies or different media that kind of foretell things to come. Like in that movie, The Sixth Sense, if you've seen The Sixth Sense, there's that moment where Bruce Willis realizes the secret, and then the movie flashbacks to all these different things that happen, and the audience is left going, oh my gosh, yes, that's correct, that's so crazy. These things you saw. My question to you, did I say that before? I'm going to ask another question. My next question to you is, can you readily access the Easter eggs in your life? This is why you need to make a musical playlist. There's a road. I'm not going to sing this song. No simple highway. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, dude, I knew he was a deadhead. No, I'm not a deadhead. I picked this song for two reasons. The first reason is because they used it in my favorite TV show of all time, Freaks and Geeks. And when you watch Freaks and Geeks, they use this song and in the very last episode to end the entire series. The second reason why I chose the song is it's my road song. So when you do these playlists, I was going to say if you do these playlists, but I said when because I know that you're going to after you listen to this talk. When you do these playlists, you're always looking for songs, and you think of, like, I need a song that took me to that next level. Everyone has those inspirational songs that they listen to that takes them to that next level. This is my song that inspires me to make a change, to do something different. So if what you're doing now isn't working for you, then do something different. Make a change. Risk failure. Because the faster you fail, the faster you can recorrect, recoup, and redirect. So, every action is an act of creation. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I shot. My daughter introduced me to the music of Hamilton. And it was just this, it's really cool. I'm crying. Why am I crying? Because my daughter's here. So, music speaks to us differently, which is super cool. Like, one song can mean one thing to one person, can mean something completely different to the other person. So as she was growing up, I used to try and curate the music that they would listen to, like in the car and at home. But I realized that the music that speaks to me doesn't really speak to them. And they need to create their own playlist. So, I'm just choked up. I just need to breathe. So, what I wanted to leave you with is the idea that at every stage, something happens in your life. And I want you to make sure that you're keeping your eyes open and looking for these songs that are happening in your life. Like, for instance, I just flashed a song by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it's not lost on me that this song could have been something that you're like, I have no idea what this song is, or it could have sparked something in you that that doesn't mean anything. It could have sparked something in you that has nothing to do with this talk or has nothing to do with me. And the fun thing is that looking at that song, it could become an Easter egg in your life. And then you listen to I've Not Thrown Away My Shot, and that's just one of the cool things, is that if you keep your eyes open and your ears open, things are happening around you. And if you can write those things down, which is what I said before, that the most important part of this playlist thing is to write these things down. My pastor friend always tells me, the weakest ink is better than the strongest memory. So I want to encourage you, in between your Get a Girl playlist and your Guilty Pleasures playlist, that you do My Life in a playlist. And then encourage others to do the same. And then share them. What I like to do is I like to gather small groups of people together, and everyone brings in their 20 song playlists, and then we take them all, we put them in one playlist, then we sit down, we have lunch, or I like to do a chocolate fondue with strawberries. That's how I roll. But we sit and just listen to the songs on shuffle. And then we try and guess whose song is playing. And then when the person outs themselves, they start sharing. And we start getting to know each other better. And that's creating conversation. The theme today. So I want to encourage you to do this. If you don't do it with a group, to do this with yourself. And I hope that you discover some Easter eggs that you didn't know you had. And I hope that you discover that where you are is where you're supposed to be.